All right, good evening, everyone. So, I'm here again. I decided to take Devin's place because I had a faith share that I really wanted to share with you all today. Basically, this will not be a reading from this upcoming Sundays, unless it is, I didn't look ahead. It could be fate, you never know. But this is a faith share that I developed probably about a year ago. And I think about it all the time. And then 2 days ago, I just kind of realized, I'm like, I want to give this faith share. I never thought I ever would. But I'm like, I want to give this faith share. And I feel like now's the time to do it. So we will get started. So this will be a reading from the Corinthians, chapter 13. I think many of you are familiar with this reading, but here we go. So, if I speak in the human and angelic tongues, but do not have love, I am a resounding gong or a clashing cymbal. And if I have a gift of prophecy and comprehend all mysteries and all knowledge, if I have all faith so as to move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away everything I own, and if I hand my body over so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It is not jealous. Love is not pompous. It is not inflated. It is not rude. It does not seek its own interests. It is not quick-tempered. It does not brood over injury. It does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never fails. If there are prophecies, they will be brought to nothing. If tongues, they will cease. If knowledge, it will be brought to nothing. For we know partially and we prophesy partially. But when the perfect comes, the partial will pass. When I was a child, I used to talk as a child, think as a child, reason as a child. When I became a man, I put aside childish things. At present, we see indistinctively, as in a mirror, but then face to face. At present, I know partially. Then I shall know fully as I am fully known. So faith, hope, and love remain. These three, but the greatest of these is love. So, if you come from a family as big as mine, you become very familiar with this reading. This reading is usually, from my experience, the second reading during every single wedding I've ever attended. And I attend about 3 a year. And this is the reading where it talks about what love is and what love isn't. And it's one of those readings, I think I've heard it only one time, during an actual church session. All the other times have been at a wedding. And every single time I think of it, I think of couples. And I think about people who are together, love each other. I'm going to try not to look at you too. I'm sorry. But I always think of it as a guidance of how do you love someone? How do you love that person that is so close to you and in their life? And it's just something that I've always kind of just reflected on personally. And it's no question why it's always picked for weddings, because it fits. It talks about love, and weddings are about love. But this is not why I wrote this faith share, and especially compared to my relationship status, I shouldn't be the one telling you guys about love. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pose a question. And that question is, what would our world look like if we looked at everyone this way? What would happen if we took this reading and didn't just apply it to those people that we are close to? What if we applied this to the world? So we are very familiar with the troubles that we face in this world. The world is full of sadness, it's full of fear, full of anger, full of hopelessness. And we all know that, things happen every day that really, really get to us and really prevent us from loving the world around us. Whether it's what happened in Turkey last week with the earthquakes, in Syria, or the school shooting that happened in Idaho. And it really feels a little bit more personal when it happens right in our backyard, like it happened in Michigan State 2 days ago. And, love starts with perspection, because we saw what happened on the news when we experienced the Idaho school shooting, and yet we feel so much more deeply, we feel so much more pain hearing what has happened here at Michigan State just 2 days ago. That's the power of perspection, and that's true love that we feel. But what if we extended it out? What if we learned a way to extend out? Because once again, it's so much more different seeing the names of the people on the news and going about our everyday life, just seeing news articles, rather than going into, for me, going to my internship and seeing teachers crying because their sons are on campus waiting to come home. And, students in the group chat in WMU saying that they're scared to go to classes because of everything that's going on. It's so much more personal when it happens on a local scale. And so we love the people we love the MSU community, and we love the people of WMU, but how do we love the people of Idaho? How do we love the people of Turkey and Syria? How do we put that in perspective? And basically, how do we love strangers? And the way that I kind of was able to piece this together, I helped, as sad as what happened up at Michigan State, in a way they helped me to love deeper. The people there helped me to love deeper because I realized that we are all connected. We are all connected in our own way. I didn't know anyone that was hurt up there. I knew one person who was on campus and they were safe. I found that out immediately. But what I learned is this. I know my perspective. I know where I stand in this world. I know that I have people that I am very, very close to. One of these people that I'm very, very close to is Nora, on SMT. And I definitely really, really care about her. And she has friends, and those friends have friends. And we heard on our SMT group chat that one of her friends' friends is recovering in the hospital right now, who was involved in that shooting. And so through my care of someone that I know personally, I saw this chain of if something happened to anyone at SMT, I'd be shattered. And seeing this chain of how we're all connected, how someone who's hurt right now and recovering in the hospital, thankfully, I have a connection with that person through a chain of people. And so if we're able to see from that perspective, we can find a way to love basically anyone that we come across in this world. Because no matter who it is that we run into in this world, everyone is connected in some way. We are all humans, and we are all sharing this earth. And it's hard sometimes seeing the hate and the fear and the anger and the hopelessness, because really we're all connected. So why don't we just choose love? Why do we choose the negativity with the people that we don't know when really we're all connected and we all have the option to choose love? And so I'm gonna reopen the reading, and I'm gonna read my favorite section of that reading, and I want you all to think about how can we not just love the people around us with this reading, but love the strangers, everyone that we meet on the street, on vacation, anywhere. So love is patient, love is kind. It's very easy to go about our days and hold the door open for someone that you don't know, or if someone drops a paper and it's blowing in the wind, chase down that paper for them. I've done that before, maybe 2 days ago. Be patient. Me personally, it's hard to be patient on the roadways when I have a destination, but putting in perspective that everyone on that roadway is on their way to a destination, and we're all trying to accomplish the same thing. We're just living amongst each other. Love does not seek its own interests. And I think that's what holds us back from love, is that we have so much interest in ourselves and what we want, that we forget that we share this world with a whole bunch of other people and we're not alone. And maybe those people are even in our lives to help us. I've had God speak to me through so many people in this past year and my whole life. And without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, through positives and through the negatives. And so, we shouldn't seek our own interests. And just many, many, many others. And it's really sad, and I was heartbroken. I found out I couldn't make it to the vigil today, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that I spoke of the people, of what people are going through in Michigan State. And what's also really hard is that, life continues. At 8 a.m. tomorrow, Michigan State is going to open their doors again and start classes once again. And students are going to have to enter the campus that they once thought was so safe, and also enter these very halls where, this crisis occurred just 2 days ago. And instead of thinking of it as just a tragedy, we'll remember the names of Alexandria and Ariel and Brian. But I also want to just take some time and just silent prayer before we move on to a song, because I did pick a song today that reflects what we need in this world, what the people of Michigan State need, and everyone who's suffering from this time. But before we get started with that, I think we should all just send a silent prayer ourselves, not just for Alexandra, Ariel, and Brian who lost their lives, not just for the ones who are injured, but for all the students at Michigan State, for all the parents and everyone who's suffering and struggling right now, because really all everyone wants right now is love. We don't want the sadness, we don't want the fear, we don't want the anger, we don't want the hopelessness. We all just want love. And I think we should send some love up there and sing a song and then keep praising their names. Thank you.